prior, like, me and my, it's weird, me and my mom, we, like, get along, and she totally helps with stuff, and I help her with stuff, but throughout the day, it's like we come together and we're, like, her, she can sit there and watch the things in front of the TV and in front of me, and you just, it's all day, you know? Now she's got this baby. Oh my God, she's so big. I mean, she's getting it. No, she's not. She still just needs to I can't make recommendations to her. She gets upset.
I'm betting anything that's not
I know she's great. And she really works out.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CSL Santa Cruz. Our Reverend Elijah is with us in spirit today. So we're going to do our best to hang in and make him proud, make them proud, right? So now is our time we won't be doing our drum chant, so I'm inviting you to look around, observe, and interact, and stand up and go around and say hi to people.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Oh, let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Thank you. Thank you. There I am. Hi, good morning again, and welcome everyone. Welcome to our Sunday morning service here at Center for Spiritual Living Santa Cruz. If you haven't already, please make sure your cell phones are on silent. And a special welcome to those of you watching us on YouTube and Facebook. We're so pleased that you also chose to join us this morning. Whether you're here in person or viewing online, welcome to the center. My name is Leah Simone Reed. My pronouns are she and her, and my ancestors come from Italy and Ireland. We have a very special morning planned for you. We have Reverend Grace Lovejoy leading our spiritual practice, and practitioner Jessica Chris in the back room holding us all in prayer as we move throughout this service. Today's musical muse is a CSL House Band. Welcome back our resident rock star, Michael Shervat. And he's going to be joined by In Love. Our message will be delivered to us through Reverend Tamara Merrill. And do stay after service for our community potluck and social hour. Also, after service today is our Dances of Universal Peace at 12 o'clock in the front garden led by Adora Deva. Practitioners and ministers are available after service, so don't leave here with a heavy heart. And I'll give you a tip, they also love to hear the good news too. So you can also place prayer requests in the prayer box in the back, and those will be prayed upon all throughout this week. And you can send prayers also to prayer@cslsantacruz.org. Let's together do our intro to our mission, purpose, and vision. Please join me as we speak out loud. Let's say this together mindfully. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Our vision is a world that works for everyone and all life on earth. We are a community of possibility. Yes. And I love we're reading our inclusion statement from our Centers of Spiritual Living. We stand with all of the centers of spiritual living around the world, grounded in the knowing that the teachings of Ernest Holmes speak directly to liberty, equality, equity, inclusion, human rights, compassion, safety, self-determination, and spiritual living. For that reason, we are unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Unambiguously in support of gender equity and equality. Unambiguously in support of LGBTQ+ lives. And unambiguously in support of women being the sole decision makers about their lives, well-being, dignity, and choices. Okay, please take a moment to feel the ground beneath your feet and take a deep breath in and out. We like to breathe around here. And so we begin our morning by acknowledging that the land upon which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awas-Awas-speaking Upi tribe, the Amamutsan tribal band. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor the ancestral and current struggle of the original people of this land. Thank you. We have, oh, that's me, that's it. We have a new script. I'm like, oh, what's next? That's it. And I'm going to invite up a CSL House Band along with In Love. No, that's not that one. Yeah, just a chant.
All right, I'll go ahead and cue you guys in for all the different word changes for the chant, but it's pretty repetitive, so just follow along and please join us. We justice-seeking people.
We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
We are young and old together.
We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
We are a land of many colors.
We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
We are gay and straight together.
We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
We all stand for women's choices.
We all stand for women's choices, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We all stand for women's choices, and we are singing, singing for
Last
our
one,
lives.
we are peaceful, loving people.
We are peaceful, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are peaceful, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you.
It's amazing how important it is for us all to be together in one place, in one thought, because without Elijah here, even the equipment goes wild. My name is Reverend Grace Lovejoy. I am a licensed religious science practitioner. It is the first and foremost thing I am. And then I'm a minister. And it is my pleasure to tell you that my pronouns are Hershey. Because I'm sweet. And that my ancestors came from the British Isles and from northern Germany and Scandinavia. I could tell you a whole bunch more about me, but that's all you need for the moment. But what I would like to do is take us into prayer. And I'm going to do that first by calling us into a vibrational field, which will be led by this lovely bowl. And if you will, put your feet flat on the floor so that you are grounded on Mother Earth. No matter where we go in the universe, we are earthlings. This land beneath our feet, this air we breathe, is who we are and what we are, and we are contributing in major ways between us and everything around us. Breathing out our carbon dioxide, and the trees breathe it in and breathe us back fresh oxygen. It's a symbiotic relationship here on the planet. And it is imperative for all of us to hold that in mind, to hold the peace that is the nature of the infinite intelligence that runs through us, that is our very life's blood. Peace and harmony and joy and unity and wholeness and balance and order. These are all qualities of God. And when I look around and it seems like none of that is present in the very moment I'm in, I can remember it's underneath all, over all, around all, there's only God, as all of those things that I am seeking. So as we go forward into this service today, I bring forth from within me peace and balance and order. And I allow it to permeate this facility, this talk, this beingness. And I am blessed to be in your company. Thank you so much. And so it is.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Michael.
And together we are
In
in
love. I'll go with you wherever the wind blows, 'cause when I'm with you, I feel safe. I have faith and trust in you. So take me to that special place in your heart. In your heart.
And when the drama comes, I'll be there by your side. I won't run away and hide. And when the melody between us is strong, I'll sing to you the only song in my heart. In my heart.
I'm with you in everything you do. I'm not waiting for forever to grow with you together. I'm with you, in love with you, not based on any condition. Our love is a transmission. We're better together. We're better together. We don't have to be like the ones before us.
We don't have to know everything now.
We don't have to fight or do what's right to believe. I'm with you and everything you do. I'm not waiting for forever to grow with you together. I'm with you, in love with you, not based on any condition. Our love is a transmission. We're better together. Can you sing it with us? We're better together. We're better together. Then when we're apart, we're better together.
Don't wanna miss my chance to fly, so I spread out my wings, jump and take a dive into the unknown, the place where I grow, into the love of the seeds that I sow. We don't need no alibi, it's time to shine and step into the light and be present to your essence, connected to the place where you the joy that you were meant to be. We are one in this family, so climb into the tree, release the harmony into the world, the one. When you think it's all over, your life has just begun. So look into the stars, remember who you are, rise above, live in love, we're better together.
I'm with you in everything you do. I'm not waiting for forever to grow with you together. I'm with you, in love with you, not based on any condition. Our love is a transmission. We're better together.
Are we better?
We're better together. We're better together. Then when we're apart, we're better together. We're better together.
Feel all your sinners aligning.
We're better together. We're better together. Then when we're apart, we're better together.
Morning, good morning, welcome. Oh, I am so honored that you showed up today. Really, it's so wonderful to know that, you know, this community is providing something that people want to bring into their hearts and minds. So I want to say namaste, thank you for being here. Give yourselves a hand. Yay. So I'd like to start with, my name is Reverend Tamara Merrill, and I speak once a month here. The big dude's gone today, so you got me. One of the things that has been going on for me is that I was listening to the idea of intention a lot lately. So I'm going to invite you, after we do 3 breaths, just sit there and close your eyes for just a moment and see if you can find an intention of what you want to get out of being here today, whether it's being sung to, prayed by, or for, or listening to the message. Are you willing to do that maybe? Yeah? Okay. So let us start with a big breath, and we'll do 3 of those together. Ready? Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. So in a world of possibility, set an intention for the day for yourself, for this moment. Joy, peace, comfort, compassion. And let us begin. And please come back into the room when you're ready. Thank you. So today's talk is called Renewable Resources. And these topics are given to us by the Home Office in Colorado. And I'm going to begin talking about the world and some possibilities. And then I'm going to come back and talk about our personal journeys. So right now, I want to talk about what Reverend Michael Bernard was talking about last week, and that is this. When we speak of the world, we tend to speak of the world as the earth, and that is not correct. The earth is an alive entity. Oh boy, and there's the earth right there in form. Hi. Nothing like the joy of innocence and curiosity. So the world is different than the earth. The earth is a living, breathing entity which this particular body and all the bodies out here are of. When we drink the water, it becomes us. When we eat the food from the earth, it becomes our blood. In our whole system, it becomes our body. The world is a construct of beliefs, of worldviews, of attitudes. And when a spiritual teacher, mystical teacher like Jesus said, we are in the world but not of it, doesn't mean the earth. It means our constructs of our belief systems. And if you've ever heard me speak before, you know that this is very limited compared to this. Our heart and our intuition and our instinct is what moves us and propels us into a spiritual reality. This gets us again and again and again in a lot of trouble. Because for every one of these things we call mind, there's an opinion. And there's now going to be 8 billion people projected by next month on the planet called Earth. So in the world that we construct in here, that's 8 billion worlds that have their own opinions. That's a lot of peeps out there with a lot of different ideas. So I heard something a few months ago, and it captivated me, and I'm hoping that I can deliver it with ease. And it's this. We have the new... yay, that's right. We have the new Webb telescope, right? And this telescope, we now can see over another 13.5 billion galaxies. Now, with all this, we talk about space and time and space. And our scientists are now finding that it's not the only world in which we live, this time and space, correct? That we know we can shoot ourselves into the space and defy, not break the laws, but defy the laws of gravity to enter into a different place in the galaxy. We used to think, wow, that's science fiction. In my father's day, he was born in 1916, that was, something of science fiction. I remember when man landed on the moon, my father, I was 10 or so. Was I that? Yeah. And my father had bet his older brothers that we would go to the moon back in the 20s and 30s, and they laughed at him. So he bet them $20. Now, $20 in the 60s was like over 100. So my dad got on that dial phone, called him up, and got his money as we were landing on the moon. But here's the thing. Einstein said that time and space is a construct of our thinking, okay? And that it doesn't include how we live. In other words, it's not a part of the reality of who we are. Einstein said that, and that's kind of mind-blowing, because we live in this construct called time and space. It's almost 11 o'clock, okay, on this side of the world. But what it means is he was exploring different ways. Light years, we talk about light years. How many people? I can't conceive infinity nor a light year. It's pretty hard. But with all of this, here's the good news. We now have become so advanced with artificial intelligence that in China, they have figured out how to construct deep learning for the artificial intelligence, for the AI. And deep learning is that there was this game called Go. In America, we don't know much about that game. Oh, you do?
I play it.
Okay. Hey, Sky plays it. So the Go game, the computer, after playing 100 times it has infinite possibilities, the Go game. I had to preface that. And the artificial intelligence, after playing 100 games with another human, the best in the world, it started going so fast with its programming that it created a win by something that no mind so far has been able to figure out. The possibilities were beyond our capacity at this moment in time to understand. And what they learned is that this is going to be something that can get us further with not only technology, but just the advancements of our intelligence. So there are ramifications for that, for sure. And then there's really interesting positivity. For instance, why Einstein said, we cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So that means that some of the problems, global warming, overpopulation, trying to get along with one another that don't have the same ideologies in the world, what causes war, you know, the different belief systems in religion. And the artificial intelligence may be a possibility to find answers that we are not in our consciousness advanced enough to recognize. Not that we don't have it, because we do, but that we can't recognize it in our limited space and time. So there's these physicists, and there's this one gentleman, if you want to look him up, his name's Donald Hoffman, and he's a cognitive scientist and a physicist, and he's on the podcast system on YouTube. And he and the younger physicists have started to study the fact that within 80 to 100 years, 8 to 10 decades, they will be able to construct time travel within just our bodies. Now that sounds like something from Star Trek, you know, where's Captain Kirk, right? But the possibilities are there because they were talking about how these computers can do these mathematical theorems with quantum physics and Newtonian physics, and it becomes billions and billions of problems, the more in reductionism, to look at the smaller and smaller particles of Earth, of quarks, and I think they're called gluons and things like that. And what's happening is they decided to do something different and take the container of this particular time and space with gravity and Earth and put it into a different theorem of light years, of a different time and space theorem. And all these mathematical problems came down to 5, then 3, then 1. And they're discovering that we will be able to go around the construct of space and time in maybe 100 years, and people will laugh at where we are today, just like 100 years ago. Anyway, the possibilities make me excited, and the responsibility makes me somewhat a little nervous. But how exciting is that? That artificial intelligence is something that we have now created. I mean, when I pick up my phone, I don't think, wow, how does that work? I just dial or play a game or get on whatever I get on. But when we think about it, if we had to understand everything about how light waves work, television waves, radio waves, we would be pretty overwhelmed, right? So I'm excited about that. And I wanted to share that with you because I think that that's a great possibility with all the problems that we're looking at and trying to navigate today. So that's the part of this. Then I'm going to get into our personal part. This is where each of us have to participate as we choose, but it's a deep one. I'm going to share something I talked about 3 years ago. And that was the Holocaust in Rwanda. How many people remember that? Did anyone ever read the book, Left to Tell? It's amazing. This woman, her name is Immaculée Ibazal, and she was from Rwanda, and she was from a family that was from the Tutsi tribe. And the Tutsi tribe in Rwanda, it's a beautiful garden, country in Africa. And they had 3 tribes, the Tutsis, the Hutus, and the Wiots. The Wiots were an indigenous pygmy tribe, and they were not very many people left. And the Hutus usually were the blue class workers, and the Tutsis were the what I would call white, collar people. They were the educators, the principals, the engineers, things like that. Anyway, in the 1990s, Clinton was president at that time. A similar thing happened in their country that's going on in our country, and that's this. There was some people in power that decided that everybody had to take sides. And, when that happens, it's like someone draws a line in the sand and said, you're either for me on my side or you're against me. And that is a construct that is not in a reality that I want to live. Right. There is no way. There's only your way or my way or the highway. Yeah. That just doesn't work, right? There has to be conversations. There has to be possibilities of thinking and being in this world. That's what freedom's all about, right? So this very extremist group was saying they had to start being tribal. You had to identify your tribe in school. And Immaculée didn't even know what she was, actually. She didn't know what tribe she belonged to. Her parents, her dad was a principal, her mom was a teacher, and they lived, with neighbors who were Hutus next door. They grew up with kids who, weren't of their same tribe. People married each other, had kids, et cetera, et cetera. But then this extremist started saying that I think it was Belgium, wanted to construct those who have and those who have not. And they decided one tribe would be educated and one tribe would not, way back in the 20s and 30s. So it started causing a division. As time went on, this particular extremist political view, and whenever I say extreme, there's extreme on the left and there's extreme on the right. It's not about which one's which. It's about whenever you get off center, whenever you become imbalanced, whatever side becomes imbalanced. That's why we have checks and balances, right, in our government. So anyway, in Rwanda, what happened was the Hutus were getting very upset. They felt victimized. Remember that triangle of this particular life is victim, villain, and hero. In all our dramas and all our stories, we have a victim, we have a villain, and we have a hero, correct? And unfortunately, that puts us in positions of polarization. Whenever we also have to have a villain, and then we also have to have a hero who's going to save the victim, because the villain needs a victim, or he's not a villain, or she's not a villain. So what has happened in this construct in Rwanda is they finally have a Hutu president, and they're excited because they feel that they have been ignored and didn't have a voice. So the politics were calming down and people weren't as divisive. And then on Easter Sunday in '91, a plane crash happened, and the president, who was a Hutu, who was just, I don't think he'd been in power for very long, died. And this militant group for the Hutus started rhetoric on the radio and saying you must pick up arms and you must kill the Tutsis because they're trying to kill you. They're trying to take over you. They're trying to take your stuff. They're trying to take your family, blah, blah, blah. Which wasn't true. And so the rhetoric and the fear got to a level where all of a sudden these people were convinced that their neighbors were cockroaches, that they weren't human, that they were evil. We've seen that in the Holocaust with Hitler. In 100 days, the neighbors, the husbands, the wives, the children, all had to take sides. And in 100 days, 1 million Tutsis were slaughtered and killed in 1991. That's a lot of people. That's just like you and I. The Catholics, or if you're Jewish, if whatever the thing is, Republican, Democrat. 1 million people in 100 days. People who were just going to work, living their lives with their family. Out of rhetoric, out of a belief system. And a belief system is just a bunch of cells put together. That is not truth. There's too many belief systems, and there's way too much mystery in this world to say that you know. But what you do know is here. You do know that eternal reality, that love really does overcome, that deep love. Not the romantic love that gets caught in the ego, but the deep agape love of life itself. And these people, this particular young woman, Immaculée, her brother was home from college, she was home from college, and people started scattering, and she saw her father, who helped a lot of people in the community. He was a principal. They just ran him over with a truck, and then she saw her mother get macheted in the street. Now, there wasn't violence like this before, so it would be like us waking up and having that experience in our neighborhood, in our homes. And this minister that her father was very close to, who was a Hutu, a Methodist minister, took several Tutsi women into his home and hid them in a bathroom that had an added bathroom that had a fake wall. And they lived there for 100 days, 5 women in a very small bathroom. And during that time, she would hear them come inches from the window of the bathroom, calling their names, telling them they're cockroaches and they wanted to kill them. At first, there was so much anger in her and so much rage and so much grief. And then she had to sit there with nothing to do for 100 days except ruminate about the evil that was taking place or do something different. And what she did is she started to pray. And she started to pray at a level she never thought she could. And in these prayers that she did it 10 hours a day. And she said after the first 30 days, she moved into a place she had never experienced before, kind of like a meditation of ecstasy, like she could really feel something greater moving within her. She was able to find compassion and forgiveness from the people who had slaughtered her family. There's one instance where they, for some reason, had to leave the bathroom, and she was faced with a Hutu who had a machete, and she stood there and prayed, and he walked right up to her and froze, and then turned away and walked away. There was something going on within her that she connected with that was bigger than the ideology of hate. That's powerful. And when it was all done, her house was burned to the ground. They got help, and people were thrown in jail for war crimes. Her neighbor in particular, who had killed her mother and her father and her brother. And she went to, just like Nelson Mandela, she went to the jail and forgave him. That wasn't just words. That was work. As a spiritual warrior, that was work. And she had no money, no food. Everything was collapsed around her. And as she was going to the camps that were taking all the refugees in, when she got to a different city and had no money, no nothing, this young disabled woman who her mother had helped said, your mother took me in and helped me, and she was a Hutu. So she took her in and gave her shelter. Just like the minister who, the father had done really good things for this minister, and he took her in. You see, that's true karma there. What our parents have laid before their good works, our good works of service go on before us and behind us. That's amazing. The impact that you, every one of us here, has for someone we don't even know, because they may not even be born yet. But what we stand for, what we stand up for, if we say a world that works for everyone, we have to mean that. And how do we do that? And she was trapped in a bathroom for 100 days just with her thoughts, just with her own consciousness, just with her own heart and mind. And she came out on the other side with forgiveness and compassion. Then all these synchronicities happened. And that's what happens in this philosophy when we give an intention. We start to be able to, it's not even attract, but experience our intentions of being kind, our intentions of being a good person, our intentions of being of service. Those things manifest and continue to even outlive our physical life. So she walks out and she's volunteering somewhere in a food bank, and somebody starts listening to her, how she was so forgiving and her presence was so large and beautiful. And they worked at the United Nations, and they offered her a part-time job there. And she started working for the United Nations, and then she met her husband, and he got sent to the United States, and she came here, and she lives in New York with her husband, and they have children. And she wrote this book with the assistance of Wayne Dyer, who really saw the magic in her of being able to overcome the hatred and the fear and her own ideologies to rise above that. Thich Nhat Hanh says that we must end the war within ourselves, and also to have compassion with ourselves. And I always hear all the time where we talk about, just love yourself. That's all you gotta do is love yourself. And sometimes I think, well, there's things I know I should do better. And then I think this and that, and I go, I just shit on myself, right? But I had a deep encounter where one of my foster kids and I got into a really dark place of arguing a lot, and it was difficult. They were having some mental health, anxiety issues. And afterwards, the week after, I just felt terrible. Coulda, woulda, shoulda on me all the whole week, and I could just feel it on my skin. I could've, I shoulda, I know better, all those things. And I thought that self-reflection would make me a better person. But I'm wrong. I was wrong. The compassion for myself had to be the first place I go, so that I could have a broader band to have compassion for other people. And I know maybe some of you said, really, you didn't know that? But I was like, wow. And once I forgave myself, I had so much more room to stop ruminating and to forgive the situation. So much more compassion. Through my suffering, I found I had more room to be compassionate with other people that I saw that were suffering. And I didn't have to judge so harshly. When I find people who are really judgmental now, I can see glimpses of how hard they are on themselves. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, invite you today to be compassionate with yourself, because that's where the spiritual warrior's work really is. It's about eliminating our judgment within ourselves. It's about eliminating our coulda, shoulda, wouldas, our victimness, and ground ourselves in that sweet surrender of knowing that there is a higher power that moves and has its being within us, that we are a part of, that we can gather our good from. So our work is really about finding the bandwidth of more compassion in our hearts and releasing our belief systems that get us really in trouble because we think our identity is in our belief systems. It's not. Our identity is in the cosmos. It's the mystery, which until we leave this planet and this vehicle, we don't know what that is. So today, again, with your intention, I invite you to give yourself more compassion so that you may give that compassion away to others. Thank you. Namaste.
So bright in here now. All the spirit in our hearts.
So much light in the room.
Yeah, so these are our heart goggles, superhero accessory.
They let you see the world through your heart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so we're in love with this place of coming together with unconditional love. And just sometimes you need your heart glasses to cover up your tears from how everything's too much. But as we were getting shared, we had a nice sharing that when we can hold that center place and just bring, let go of the judgment and have compassion, then those moments just can seem more fun, you know, and more lighthearted. So whether you need to block the spirit because it's so bright or shield your tears, I am on stage trying to hold together because your heart is dancing whether you're moving or not. So we can choose to be in harmony with that or, you know, something else.
or something else.
So we're going to sing a song about that.
Yeah, and we invite you to get up and heart dance with us for this one.
Yeah, and if you feel like you need these extra power for your day ahead, your days ahead, then you can make a donation for a CD, get some music, and get
you
free
get the
CDs.
you get the heart glasses with the CD. So
Come see with us.
we all live for something, and something takes our lives away, and there is nothing to fill our lonely nights. So we heart dance through these hard times. Heart dance through these hard times. They inflate the cost of living so that we forget we're buying into everything we've been sold to save until we get old.
It's time to wake up from
stories we have been told. 'Cause the lives that we are building are falling into the fold. It's time to wake up from the dream we're in. Take to the world and back again. It's time to wake up from the dream we're in. Take to the world, don't look back again. Hard dance through these hard times. 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 Hard dance.
Thank you.
It's me again. I have the pleasure today of asking you to open your hearts and your pockets. Because this is a reciprocal world. What you give out comes back. That's right. It's an echo, yeah? That's right. So the one thing I want to do is I want to give you the grace, love, joy, gratitude prayer. It's imperative that you know how to do this because it makes all the difference into how generously you receive. Raise your hand if you're a generous receiver. There's a lot of us who are generous givers, and not everybody's a generous receiver. It is imperative that you learn to receive generously. So when somebody offers you something, anything, you say, yes. Yes. Thank you. More, please. Yes, thank you. More, please. And I'm telling you, a written thank you card makes a big difference. So recognize that this is a generous world and that you're a part of it. And let's start the circulation flowing so that as you reach into your pockets, if you're an automatic giver, if you have gone to your safe deposit box and brought out gold coins, we accept them all. Stocks and bonds, we'll manage. Be as generous as you can. So, excuse me, I've made myself breathless. I want to say a little prayer for generosity. And then we're going to sing a song. Does that sound fair to you? Yes. All right, then close your eyes. Close your eyes and go where I go, which is this crazy place that says, I love this planet. I'd like to stay on it for a nice long time, but it's getting crowded. And it's getting messy and it's getting hot. And some days it's cold and I'm not happy. And all of that is completely immaterial. So that when we remember who we truly are, we remember we're part of a circulation that is generously moving in every direction like a heart dance. There are more connections between your heart and everywhere in your body than there are between your brain and anywhere in your body. Your heart leads the way. So from this grateful place of having been sung to by our fabulous musicians and the grateful place of being here in your generous presence. I bless us all, and so it is. Thank you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I bless this congregation for all you have sent to us this moment. And I'd like to have these people who have collected this for us turn around. And also meet our practitioner, Jessie Chris, who is holding the high watch for us all day today and is holding the prayer box. So what we're going to do is I'd like you to bless that, the generous giving that's been gone. Put your hands out there and just say thank you. Thank you. So now, for everyone who is in that prayer box, who has put in a request, I know this truth, that good is already happening, that the answer to the prayer is always yes, and it becomes the reality the moment you receive the yes and believe the yes. Yes? So any of you who are looking for physical well-being and health, stand up and receive a blessing. Any of you who are looking for financial well-being, stand up and receive a blessing. Any of you who are heartful enough to be in love and willing to share that love, stand up and be the blessing. And let me just say this. God is so good. We are so grateful. Life is a blessing, and so it is. Amen, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also want to let you know, most of you know, I have a little card reader. So if you want to catch me in the social hall, if you wanted to give by card, we can do that as well. So we have some announcements for you. Next coming up is our foundations class with Chaplain Cheryl Stromstad-Snyder. That starts on Monday, October 3rd, and it'll run 10 Mondays from 6 to 8:30 here in person at the center. We have coming up Body Wise with Marcia Heath. Some of you may have, this is ongoing for you on I think Fridays. Well, she's doing a special introduction to Body Wise, 12:30 to 1:30 on Sunday, October 2nd, for all who are curious about what this special experience is like, but aren't free to attend the Friday morning class. Those of you who enjoy the intro and want to meet regularly will have the opportunity to contribute to the decision of when the class will be held. Mighty Wise is Marcia's version of Interplay. It is a heart-opening experience that taps the wisdom of our bodies and connects us authentically with self and others throughout movement, word, and sound. If you are also interested but can't stay for the intro on October 2nd, please talk to Marcia after service, and Marcia's raising her hand over there. Another thing that's coming up we're excited about is our sound healing journey, and that is going to be on the second Saturdays with practitioner Shira Stone from 10:30 to noon. And so that would start second Saturday of October. We are up and running with our Recovery Next Step meeting. We've got a couple in our belt and are really having some rich and joyful experiences together. And those are Monday nights, every Monday night from 7 to 8 o'clock on Zoom. And you can find those details in your e-news or on our website, the Zoom meeting address. And you just join us at 7 o'clock on Monday nights. Check your e-news for more things happening here all the time. There's clearly a lot that you're going to want to know about. You can scan the QR code on the little half sheet that you got coming in, or go into the social hall to sign up for our e-news on our website, which is cslsantacruz.org. Many thanks to the folks who provided the little buffet today. Those were last names S through Z. And then next week, remind you for our social hour, if your last name ends with A through F, you're up. Okay, special thanks to Loudly, to Ellen in the kitchen. Woo! Remember that we can use your help for cleanup today, or stay and help and sign up for setup in the mornings as well. Thank you to our musical muses, CSL House Band and In Love. Our media magicians, Susan Pankratz and Maggie Dreyer. Practitioners, Reverend Grace and Jessica. Thank you so much, Reverend Tamara, for your really wonderful message today. Thank you to all of our viewers online, on Facebook and YouTube. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and have a great week. Yay! And now we have one more song to close out the day.
Oh yeah, dances for universal peace. Where is it going to be? In the garden. There are times in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was consistent. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've gotta let it go. Let it go. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life.
let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle. No more struggle. No more strife.
No more strife.
With my faith, I see the light.
I see the light.
I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle. No more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. One more time. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.